Terry. What a way.
Oh well, no. If you're gonna do that,
yeah,
then let me just share.
I do have
Let
Starship
me just share
Troopers
it to you.
Terran Command, which is a game.
The broadcast has resumed.
Nice.
I am going to right-click. How dare you?
That was the game you and Dodge against 4 AIs, basically. Or the 2v1v3, right?
Yeah, this is the one all by himself.
Yeah. I mean, let's not spoil it. I have seen it already, but yeah.
But that's the idea of a replay, right?
What kinds of games do you play? I'm just curious, like genre-wise, I would say.
Who, me or John?
Yeah, you.
Me. Definitely more depends. I'm more playing games with friends, and I'm also one of those guys who follows people. Not really a single-player guy. But I do like to play real-time strategy games, like for example Supreme Commander that we sometimes play.
Supreme Commander is good.
Yeah. Or I also like to I have a friend group who also play like random games. Lethal Company is one of them. Overwatch 2 for some example. Counter-Strike 2 also one example. World of Warships for some reason, I don't really know why. all of those games where I'm basically not completely garbage at, but also not really good at, if that makes sense. But they're fun. They're fun at least.
You ever play a game called Factorio?
Yes, I have. And once again, not really good at it. Also, once again, I also had a friend who was way too into it, like 8,000 hours way too into it. But
oh, it's one of those.
What is that?
I find it funny. I've heard people compare it to hardcore drug substances.
Okay.
It is. When someone has like 8,000 hours, it's like, yeah. Hold on, let me see. I think there's one thing that's amazing about it, but let me see. Because if I'm 100% correct,
so much.
Yes, I have to. I don't really want to share it with you, but all I want to share with you is the following: games with all of achievements. This guy has 8,000 hours, and he has all 38 of the Factorio achievements.
Oh, those are difficult to get.
That's the fucking commitment. But yeah. Me, personally, I have about 30 hours in Factorio. Yeah.
If you ever wanted to play Factorio, down.
A little bit, maybe. I don't know, it's always like, it is fun expanding factories, but also like,
like understanding of the game. I played it, I got good at it like long ago, and then I didn't play it for a long time, so the game is completely different now.
Honestly, I don't have a huge understanding. Like I know how to build most of the stuff, but I don't really know how to build it efficient or effectively. And I never really got into the logistics of a train network, because every time I played it was a multiplayer, and normally my friend with his 8,000 hours would do the logistic stuff, so all I did was just build tracks. Walk around with robots and building tracks. But didn't really worry about any of kind of like, yeah, and when their train is crossing, then we need to do this. No, I didn't do any of that. Alright, back to the actual game.
A bunch of games I can talk about with you.
No, I'm currently talking about the replay.
Oh, I was gonna be like, well, Dawn of War is pretty good as a real-time strategy game. Germany, going through my list and finding out which one of these games you own.
I'm actually currently looking down. Yeah, John, how did that happen again? Oh well. That was...
you ever
I'm
play?
sorry.
If you ever get the chance, I
Oh,
highly
Dave, hey, what's up?
recommend.
Nothing.
If you ever get the chance, I highly recommend a game called It Came From Space in 8-Hour Brains.
What?
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
it's like it's a isometric game, but it's not turn-based, and you're basically trying to survive an alien
Why
invasion.
is the energy so trash?
Because you're upgrading the tech-free factory, which costs, as well as you're building a lot of stuff, basically. But yeah, I mean, you have your Tech 2 energy generator, so you're fine at the moment. Especially upgrading stuff is expensive. The only thing that I'm more worried about is your mass income, because you're not upgrading your mass and you're basically low on mass.
Yeah, still Tech 1.
You ever play those like really old games from like the early 2000s that like may or may not always work?
Depend on what you mean with, or what games you're talking about.
There's a game that I own. It's the only game that involves time travel in any meaningful way. Called Darkest of Days, and I really want them to do a remaster or remake of it or something, or at least make it playable on like modern computer systems.
Yes. I mean, if you really want to play old games, there is a good chance that you have a better chance using like an emulator or a virtual.
I've tried using an emulator. It's a weird, rare instance where it doesn't really like to work with emulators.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really bizarre game. It has
Have you tried a
really
virtual
weird-
machine
Yeah,
at
I was
least?
just about to say, try a virtual machine.
Like if you go Windows
I
XP
have
virtual.
tried.
I mean,
I
an
actually
emulator is a type of virtual machine, but it approaches it a little differently.
Yeah.
I find it interesting how Purple decided to put defenses here.
That's because there's a defensive point, and apparently Yellow just built it down somewhere else. Yeah, the AI is somewhat weird in the old Supreme Commander.
Look at that.
Honestly, I can't wait until we get to the modern. Well, let's not call it modern. Let's call it the Forged Alliance expansion. We don't need Forged Alliance forever, but there is at least a handful of mods I would try, like Saurian AI, which is a definitely good overhaul over the normal AI. Or Loud. Loud is also
I
pretty
agree.
good.
I'm looking forward to doing the Loud.
Yeah, Loud is also pretty good. Loud has especially some very nice, like, 1v1 AIs, as far as I know.
I heard that the AIs are pretty smart. And I don't want to do FAF because community, honestly, is just trash.
Yeah, that was weird. That was extremely weird what he had. The thing with the memory leak or possible minor.
Yeah. I was like, hell no.
Let me put it this way. It wasn't necessarily weird that they have a memory leak. That was something that I also knew about because the game is old. It was just weird how they reacted to you. That made no sense.
Oh, they were so pissed. Yeah. They took it like an insult. See, this was sneaky.
Yeah.
We didn't see this.
Yeah. I'm honestly a little bit surprised. You didn't build any Tech 1 radar, I assume. Otherwise, you would have noticed that.
There's, I think only there's one right here.
Okay, there's one right there, but it doesn't cover everything. Oh, well.
They definitely.
Yeah. Another thing, you didn't notice your. Or did you notice? Probably notice it because. One of the things I realized, this entire expansion did not have any anti-AI currently, so maybe building a bomber or so would have fixed that problem for you.
A bomber? Oh, that's right.
Actually, no, the second building is AA, never mind. Oh, 2 AAs, fair enough. The thing is, you also, even though they started building these, and even though you realized that this was a thing,
no, I didn't
one
realize.
thing that oh, you didn't realize?
No, I have no clue they're here, no clue.
Fair enough. One thing I was surprised is, because Dodge, one thing that Dodge does better than you is he goes into early units a lot more. Like, he has his first factory actually also producing some Tech 1 units. Sometimes. Like, he has a small standing armory at least. Sometimes. Bad example to zoom in right now, but he has some units working around.
He's got these two.
One thing, yeah. No, he has some down as well. There's some on the coastline.
Oh yeah.
And and there are 4 more. I mean, what is it, minute 10, and everyone else has like already some armies or expansions, but yeah.
20 minutes.
20. Normally, like, in a pro player, commander would be dead by now.
Oh yeah. Looks like I landed on their beat.
Yeah, I also like the way that you just completely went disrespect Tech 2 invasion. Like, not a lot of units, not a lot of support, just your ACU and Tech 2 defense buildings.
On the offensive. Yeah.
On the offensive, yeah. I mean, you got a lot of value out of them. They basically just killed everything. But, yeah.
Didn't even really need this.
It's never a bad idea to have some shield generators. I mean, yeah, normally you would have to have them more in a forward operating situation with their units, but then once again, why not?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Tech 2. Yeah, they're pushing Tech 2.
Yeah. What I don't understand is that he just sent one over without any units in it.
How's that? Oof. See, if my economy was better, this would already been built.
Yeah, the economy was a mess. Once again, you did not upgrade fast enough. So.
No, I definitely
Oh yeah,
screwed up on the
that
economy.
defense. Yeah, that defense at least. I think that. I don't know. But that one was definitely very smashed. So yeah, everyone is going to die to it. If you had radar,
Oh, damn.
Sorry
that
about
is.
that.
Sorry about what?
This thing is just shooting randomly.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not doing a counterattack.
I mean, the AI is not necessarily the smartest. And what kind of counterattack would you do? I mean, the only thing that is viable right there would be some bombers maybe to force you out of position. But then again, it would be easy for
There's
one.
no AA yet.
Well, there is AA in the back, you just need to be smart enough not to, well, leave bombers unprotected. But once again, yes sir?
I'm gonna save my game, and then I'll be right back because I'm installing a external adapter for NVMe memory.
Yeah, okay.
NVMe.
Yeah, Dodge is not
NVMe is
Dodge
an
is doing his
SSD.
tier 1.
Yep.
SSD memory.
Having a sub-spam is actually not a bad idea. Tech 1 units, especially submarine Tech 1 units, are one of the more useful units in naval combat.
So we found out about him. Dodge sent some units, but we were definitely late
Yeah.
in figuring out that they were here.
I mean, that's the thing. 3 Tech 1 defenses are
there it is.
formidable. Yeah. Yeah, what the hell? Once again, slight oversight. No flag whatsoever.
There's what the hell happened? What?
Did your camera change?
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing I also liked was that, you couldn't really work with interceptors because the Tech 2 transport is actually good at shooting interceptors. This game sometimes.
I swear, the third ground unit, I swear I thought it was a
Oh, you mean the tower, the point defense unit?
yeah, the point defense. The third one
Yep.
to the top right.
Well,
Obviously
Well.
not.
I also like that it's always like going to land and doesn't because of the AI.
Probably knows there's, and it's like right outside the shield too.
Yeah, it just hovers there menacingly.
It's just standing there, menacing.
Menacingly. That's basically what this thing is doing.
You ever played a game called ICBM?
Yes. Good game.
Find me, I found someone else that plays that game.
And Dodge also plays ICBM, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
We should play it at some point.
But definitely.
So we got
I don't
power.
work Sunday.
There it is.
You guys down
Damn.
to play a little bit of ICBM then?
Maybe, maybe not. It really depends on holidays and if I'm
Yeah.
online.
They're basically right.
Yeah. Also, regional differences. I just want you to know it is currently 3:30 in the morning almost. So yeah, I'm having fun.
You're in Central Europe then.
Yes. Yes. And there he goes. Up goes the, well, not really weasel, but close enough. All you need, Tech 2 and some artillery stations.
Yeah, who needs an army?
Who needs an army?
Once again, slight oversight, but you do have a point. At least in the first game and against
I'll be
the
right back.
AI, you can't just get away with it, at least. Let's put it that way. Oh yeah, that was also the time.
The AI doesn't have more. They don't really do too much on the Navy.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. Like I said, in the modern AIs, the metal AIs, they also have different focuses. So you can have like a land, air, or water AI. But the tech and basically just does whatever it wants, and it has a high focus on more land-based units, and then going for experimentals, not really early, but like relatively early, at least. And also going for artillery stations, which I never really understand, because artillery stations are never really worth it. Like, sure, if a game goes on for very long, then they can have some use, but as far as I know, artillery stations aren't really worth it. Because if you're building artillery stations, you might as well build just a normal game ender. Like a small group of... yeah?
I have returned.
You wanted to say something?
I was just plugging in a external drive.
Nice.
Well, there's
Or
our battleship
after.
coming in.
Almost. Still not finished.
32 minutes. Looks like maybe 35 minutes will be done.
I mean, it was a hefty investment, especially since you did not have the economy. But yeah.
Which game is he playing?
Battleships are really, really cool though.
Oh yeah, this game. I love this game.
Supreme Commander, if you want to join us, we'll be happy.
Yes, look at that. They just had an army over here.
You have Supreme Commander, Forge Dawn.
You don't have the first one. I mean, we can also just play the vanilla second one. Like, there's no reason to play.
I do have the first one. I just prefer the expansion over the base of the very first base game.
Yeah, me too, but we're currently still on the first one, or at least John is. I also would like to play like more with the expansion, mostly because the unit diversity and also the air update, because in the first game the air is kinda weak.
Yeah.
Especially what they did to the SARS,
I have to
7,000 health, are you kidding?
I'm only disappointed that they didn't include the alien faction in the sequel.
What do you mean in the Oh, you mean in the Supreme Commander 2?
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't played Supreme Commander 2. I didn't play a lot of multiplayer because the game, when I played it, Hey Dodge!
What's up,
Hello.
guy?
Hi,
Hey, Dodge. We're doing replay.
Yeah. And maybe we can also do Supreme Commander with 4 people today. Like having a full team. That would be nice.
Dodge, we're live streaming as well on YouTube.
Yeah. One question. Do you have the first one installed, or do you need to install it first?
I can install it in just like 2 seconds. It's not
Okay.
that big of a deal. I have good memory. I only have solid state drives, so.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Because for the time being, we're going to probably play the first one, but sooner or later we're also going to switch for the Forged Line, especially because of the AIs.
We're mastering our skills on it. First one,
I do find it hilarious.
the game mode where we have a game master, which is definitely spicing things up.
I want to give that a try again at least. Last time was more of an inconvenience because I messed up with the resource game. I definitely have to say I'm quite happy on how the AI reacted to it, because it was a lot more challenging, but also it just, yeah, it went from...
That Supreme
I
Command
like how the guns are so independent.
slightly larger than.
Yeah, that's because of the map. Actually, no, never mind. The sequel also have the same maps.
The sequel is 4.55 gigabytes, and the first game is 4.9 gigabytes.
Optimization. Yeah.
Either that or the game is just a tiny bit smaller.
What I wanted to say about Supreme Commander 2. My personal problem with Supreme Commander 2 was the balancing, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, the balance is pretty whack.
It was stupid. There were like 3, or actually only like, well, with the Endless War expansion, there were 3 completely overpowered units. The Cybran's Soul Ripper was way too powerful with regards to anti-everything, because normally we would think it's an experimental air unit, so it should be weak against interceptors. But for some reason it does blast damage against interceptors, which makes no sense, because the Supreme Commander 2 AI is pretty stupid. They all, like, if they attack a unit, they basically all go into that unit, because collision isn't really a thing. And if all of the units are intersecting in the same spot, and you have a group of Soul Rippers and they all are firing at the same position, you can kill an entire army of interceptors with splash damage, which was stupid. That's one example why the Soul Ripper is a little bit stupid. The other problem is that the Monkey Lord, or the Spider, should normally be weaker than only anti-ground unit like the Electrical Glass. Yeah, I think the team missed that point in the single. It does cost more, but it still has like an amazing anti-air and the big laser, and it's more powerful than the GC, which made no sense. And the third thing was we have aircraft carrier. For some reason, instead of the Aeon having their SAR, they had the Dark Envoy, which did not produce aircraft. We have produced aircraft. Once again, you can see the stupidity of air games. Okay, they are interceptors or not ASFs, but this took way too long. Yeah, the first game, a little bit wacky when it comes to health, especially in the air.
Remember when we were deciding what target to pick?
You ever play a game called a series called Company of Heroes?
I've played Company of Heroes 2, and I also have to say I don't really like it.
Not a fan of what would you say you're not a fan of?
I wasn't really a fan of like the progression and the commander abilities. They felt... I had a friend who was I also paid a little bit for the game, so he had a lot more like ability. Even though they were not completely broken, it also felt a little bit cheap sometimes in the process. Like some special ability that gives you units a different gun, which suddenly makes them all like snipers. Stupid stuff like that.
Second game's alright. I've been playing the franchise. It's a lot of fun. Although I love real-time strategy games where I'm not micromanaging each individual soldier. So
Yeah, that it has a lot of micro as well. Actually, it is not as bad in terms of micro than Men of War series, because in the Men of War you also have the inventory system and all of that stupid stuff.
no,
But,
I was saying I'm glad that I don't have to.
Yeah. Once again, I don't like Men of War because it was like, oh, do you want micro hell, where every one of your unit actually needs to have like an actual unit? Have fun.
The only thing I like about Men of War is being able to take guns, the 50 cals off of the vehicles,
and from vehicles, yeah.
and
But that's
then
also
just have them like run around with the
that's also one of the things which I don't like, because normally the game is less about like getting good units and playing efficiently on stuff or having like rand, and more about, oh, the game went on for 30 minutes and so much stuff died, so it's more about reclaiming stuff from the ground than actually like calling it new stuff. Okay, I also have to admit in the not Men of War, in the Company of Heroes, you also have to reclaim all of your stuff all the time.
There's you ever play a game called Sprocket?
No, haven't.
It's basically just tank design video game, the game. So all you do is design what you would...
Simulators?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, do I now have to go with my